with the layout exploratory sketches. I said 1 page. What I'll say now is let's do a minimum of 4 thumbnails every week. Just how am I going to lay this out? So if I'm thinking about a coffee maker, here's my, and it's probably a little bit wider. I want to get this proportion right. But if this is where my coffee maker is going to be, I don't need to put a lot of detail in this, but what I'm thinking to myself is, okay, this is the perspective view that I want to see. And then, you know what, I'm going to put a side view. And again, this is super simple. And I also wanted to let you know I'm using my favorite tool here. This is super simple. I'm going to do a side and a front view. And then, you know what, there's like a little detail of the screen that I want to put right here. And that's just going to be kind of a detail view. And you know what, the way to tie these things together, I'm just going to put a small background in here. And that gives me a place maybe to name my concept right there. And you know what? I want to make sure that I talk about the material that I'm using just with a small kind of call out right here. So that's an example of just a quick little layout sketch, right? Yeah.
So are you looking for the character of our final renderings to be similar to that of our exploratory sketches, kind of like this, where we're doing little call-outs of certain details and exploded views and stuff like that?
Am I looking for the character? I'm sorry, what?
Like, so our sketches have details like this that are enlarged in lots of different views. Are you looking for that same type of drawing for the final, just with more expressed?
So the answer to your question, can that help you communicate your concept? Do I need to communicate the concept with like that little exploded view, or is it somewhat obvious? So we mentioned on one of the examples that we had earlier, yeah, I mean, this is a nice little detail. Now that probably could be, no, that's good. You know, so these details that show, you know, some extra information, we certainly would appreciate. So let's say, you know, okay, you know what, the top of my coffee maker is more important. So I'm going to draw to where this thing's a little bit further below the horizon line. Maybe I'll put a little 3-point perspective in there. Maybe I'll drop my orthographic views over in this area, and maybe they'll be below the vignette, and I'll have a detail view that comes out right here. So the things that I'm thinking about are emphasis on the page. Like, am I emphasizing the right view? Am I putting the right information in here? I'm putting all the information that I need. And is the layout somewhat balanced overall on the page? So that when I pick up this sheet of paper, I don't just start drawing. I know, okay, you know what? Here's where I wanted to put that because I think that this layout makes more sense than the other layouts. You know, another thing, let's say I'm going to do two perspective views. Let's say after I do these 2 exploratory sketches, I say, you know what? I actually want to see that top view, and I also want to see one maybe a little bit more from the side. So let's do the kind of top 3-point perspective right here. And then let me drop in one where I'm looking really almost at the horizon line. And I'm going to have those overlap. And the only thing I'm going to put out here is just a detail of you know, this handle. So the level of detail with which you put in these layout or thumbnail sketches, I'm not looking at your sketches. I'm not thinking about the design of the coffee maker anymore. I'm just thinking about how I can present this information in an attractive and compelling or persuasive manner.
Logical.
Yeah. So am I communicating what I need to communicate? This actually, what I like about this is that it leaves me a little bit more room down here to throw in a little bit larger title for what the name of my object is. One other thing that I would do, you know, it doesn't take a lot of time if I am going to put a call out to just lightly sketch in couple of lines, especially if you're starting out with pencil, and then you could say these. If you throw those lines in there, even if your penmanship and your what would you call it, lettering is not as nice as somebody else's, just putting those lines in there kind of breaks everything up. These are intended to help with layout.
Some of it, Jared has nice, he has nice penmanship. Shay Tillman has very nice penmanship. If you don't, I'm gonna show you another technique real quick. I'm gonna borrow your super template. Yeah, that's all right. This is how I do it. My penmanship is mediocre. So I grab a template and I write across where the bottom of the letters go across the template. Now push against the bottom of the template. These are intended to ... And maybe I'll make an extension line from somewhere on the page to there. And then it looks super nice and neat immediately without much work at all. You can put the lines, but you're already creating a line. You're creating a visual line because all the letters are ending at the exact same spot. So there's almost like an implied line that you're lettering, that just having that letter end on the bottom, at the top of the circle template, or template does every time. So that can make it look really nice and neat quickly as well if your lettering's not all that good, like me. Thank you.
But use some of your layout as placement for where your text goes. Be legible.
Question?
So, signature-wise, be legible?
Yeah, we do need to know who it is.
I wrote it on the back, I think.
Okay.
But you
This
want
is you.
name and signature?
It's important for us to know who's drawing this. So,
You've got it in your presentation, but it's still,
yeah, not everybody
Um,
uploaded the presentation, but it's helpful still.
maybe come up with a design-specific signature that we can read.